Hmm.
Third one, instructional plans in a learner-centered curriculum are differentiated, giving
Hmm.
student the opportunity to choose assignments, learning experience, or activities.
Hmm.
Fourth one, the drawback to this form of curriculum design is that it is labor intensive.
Hmm.
It also requires that teacher balance student wants and interest with student needs and requirement outcomes, which is not an easy balance to obtain.
Right, right. Who are you, ma'am?
Dr. Deepika.
Yeah, Dr. Deepika. Sorry, ma'am. In fact, I couldn't see your name as screen is open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So learner-centered curriculum design, as initially I mentioned, it is a little bit, more flexible, and it is a little bit newer concept. So before I proceed towards learner-centered curriculum design, I want to know from you people, have you heard about CBCS?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's that?
It's a choice-based credit system.
Yeah, very good. So what's the peculiarity? What's the peculiarity of CBCS, ma'am? Any one peculiarity you can tell, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
What's the peculiarity of CBCS?
So basically, if the course is designed that if any student want to do a particular thing, and
Hmm.
according to his choices, the credits have to given to that. That means that is not compulsion to read each of the student. If suppose we are doing mechanical engineering, so
Hmm.
according to the mechanical engineering, we have to given the basic courses,
Hmm.
not the base or the courses given to all engineering branch. They have to read.
Right, right. So any yeah. Any more thing you want to say, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay. Any other participant want to say something about this CBCS? Okay. So in a nutshell, I mean, CBCS has a lot of characteristics and lot of peculiarities. In a nutshell, there are some subjects which are fixed, where there are some subjects in which we give choice to the students. Isn't it, my friends? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, more and elective subjects we have.
Yeah. So you give them choice. Choose any two in this group. Out of five, you choose any two. Out of four, you choose any one. Out of 10, you choose any three. I mean, something like that. But simultaneously, you instruct them to study something necessarily as well, because that is very important to be successful in that particular course. So learner-centered curriculum design, how it is different from subject-centered curriculum design? In subject-centered curriculum design, you are not providing any freedom, any choice at all. You are not taking into account any interest or need or ability. I mean, nothing. But here you are providing them some opportunity to choose according to their needs, according to their interests, and definitely according to their goals. So definitely its purpose is to empower learners and allow them to shape their education through choices. So more and more choices we want to give. And instructional plans in a learner-centered curriculum are differentiated, giving students the opportunity to choose assignments, learning experiences, or activities. So as a teacher, do you give assignment to your students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's the purpose of it, ma'am?
So the purpose of it that they will think about that particular problem and
Hmm.
they will individually discover the things that they can make a particular result.
Right. Ma'am, they will go through 10 books or 8 books or 6 books, and they will understand the gist of that, and they will write in the assignment. Isn't it, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So do you think it has some purpose, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Of
It
course.
shows their planning ability, their
That's it.
reasoning ability.
That's it. And not only that, how much they know and how coherently, systematically, and logically they are going to present, you will also check
Yeah.
through the assignments, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. So sometimes, assignment becomes more interesting than your lecture. Sometimes case study becomes more interesting and more meaningful than your lecture. Sometimes a field trip becomes more meaningful, more interesting than your lecture. So this learner-centered curriculum design, we try to adopt more and more, or you can say varied strategies of teaching and learning. But again, what's the drawback of this curriculum design? Definitely, if there are 100 students in our class, and I don't know in which institutions you do teach and what is the strength in your institution, but definitely I'm a teacher educator, and I have seen so many institutions throughout the country. I have seen in one classroom of BA 200 students. In one classroom of BSc, I have seen 180 students. So our classroom are quite huge, and we have less resources as well. Somewhere electricity is not there, somewhere Wi-Fi connection is not there, somewhere connectivity is not there, somewhere computers are not there. I mean something like that. So accommodating the choices of so many students with a limited resource, I think it becomes very difficult, and it is one of the drawbacks of this learner-centered curriculum design. But definitely, in comparison to subject-centered curriculum design, this one is better. Now, coming to the problem-centered curriculum design, I have pointed out two important characteristics of this, which are mentioned on the slide. So I would like to request any one of you to please read it.
Problem-centered curriculum design. This is also a form of student-centered design. Problem-centered curricula focus on teaching students how to look at a problem and come up with a solution to the problem. Students are thus exposed to real-life issues, which helps them develop skills that are transferable to the real world. Second one is problem-centered curriculum design increases the relevance of the curriculum and allows students to be creative and innovative and innovate as they are learning. The drawback to this form of curriculum design is that it does not always take learning styles into consideration.
Right. So problem-centered curriculum design. So what is it? And of course, how it is designed. So before that, I'm telling you a very interesting story. I'm quite sure you will like this story. And after listening this story, you will try to understand what is problem-centered curriculum design. So, we all face problems, isn't it, my friends? Do you agree with me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And simultaneously, you will agree with me that we all have problem-solving ability. Some people have a better problem-solving ability. Some have not as sharp, but everyone is blessed with the problem-solving ability, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And these IS officers, especially they are trained to solve the problems. I mean, if you see their educational qualifications, most of them are MA or MSc or PhD or BTech or MTech. I mean the same qualification that we have. But only thing is that the moment they are get selected for the IS, they are rigorously trained at Shastri Institute in Missouri, where their seniors come, artificial problems are created before them, and they are required to solve the problem. And then accordingly, I mean their seniors say that this problem could have been solved by that way. Your approach was not good or something like that. I mean, all those situations. So through rigorous training, problem solving ability is developed among them. So you will agree with me that definitely every IS officer has the capability to solve the problem, and every IS officer solves the problem every day. There is one IS officer in our country who is no more, who died in the last May. That's May 24. He was very active, very dynamic, vibrant, and he has the distinction of working with the 5 prime ministers of the country. That's again, is very remarkable. And I think in union ministry, there is no important ministry in which he has not served. So he was a Gujarat cadre IS officer. His name was Musa Raza. So at a very young age, he qualified IS. He was given Gujarat cadre, and his first posting was as the collector of Surat district of Gujarat. And Surat is situated near the river Tapti. So he's a very good speaker. He runs so many educational institutions in the country. After the retirement, he settled in Chennai. He retired long back in 1995. So he settled in Chennai, where he runs a lot of educational institution. So in one of the programs of his educational institutions, he invited me over there. I went over there, and it's my hobby. Whenever I meet some very important person, I usually ask, tell me anything very unique about you, anything very special about you, any incident which you have faced, or any peculiar problem that you have solved. Because I'm a teacher educator, I'll be sharing that with my students, who in turn are teachers, and through that your story will be propagated to thousands of people. So I said, sir, you are an IS officer, you have worked with 5 prime ministers of the country, and needless to say, you have solved so many problems. But sir, was there any problem which was very difficult and you solved that problem in a very difficult situation? So he said, yes, professor. So I said, sir, please tell it to me. I will share it with my students. So then he told this story. Professor, my first posting was as the collector of Surat district of Gujarat. And Surat is situated near the river Tapti. So, each and everything was normal in the city on 28th of July 1968. So, I took dinner, I went to bed, and then I retired. So I slept. But professor, it would have been around 11 in the night. But in the morning around 5, I got a violent knock at my door. So someone was knocking very violently at the door of my bedroom. So I opened the door and found my secretary is there. So I became very angry and I asked, why you are knocking so violently? What has happened? So the secretary said, sir, whole city is flooded. My friends listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what secretary told to Musa Raza?
The entire city is flooded.
Yeah. So listening to it, I mean, it was a news which was easy to digest. So Musa Raza said, are you mad? When I slept in the night at 11, not even a single drop of rain was there. And in as many as 5 to 6 hours, you are saying that whole city is flooded. He said, yes. Heavy downpour was there. And since Surat is situated near the river Tapti, so whole river Tapti got flooded. And that water of the river Tapti came into the streets and roads of water. So since you are the collector of the Surat district, so I thought you should be woken up to do the needful. Now, my friends, it was a very difficult situation. I'm talking about 1968. At that time, ATMs were not there, mobile phones were not there, and transportation and communication channels were not as advanced as they are today. So no, but these IS officers definitely they are trained to solve the problem. So immediately Musa Raza invited all of his team members. They have a small discussion what is required to be done. So finally it was decided that let's work on the embankment of the river. नदी के किनारे जो बांध बने होते हैं उनको कहीं कहीं से खोला जाए. Let's open those embankments from some places. So what will happen? जैसे ही हम बांध को कहीं कहीं से खोल देंगे, so water will go out. Water of the river will go out, and as the water of the river will go out, the water of the streets, the water of the roads will come to the river, and by that situation, this flood problem will be solved. So definitely this was a nice idea. Whole team started working, and within 4 to 5 days, that flood problem was solved. Then Musa Raza said, he's a very good speaker, in fact. And just I was listening very carefully. Then Musa Raza said, Professor, flood problem was solved, but another problem arose. So I asked, sir, what was that problem? Musa Raza said, that was law and order problem. Why? Because when the people of Surat slept in that fateful night, they didn't store enough things to eat, enough cereals, enough milk, enough fruits. So whatever they had in their kitchens, they consumed in 4 to 5 days. Now they were hungry. They wanted to eat, and things were there in the market, but the problem was that people didn't have the money. And definitely, I'm talking of 1968, so at that time ATMs were not there. So realizing the situation, immediately I summoned all the bank managers of the city and instructed them to open the bank. But all the bank managers with folded hands said, collector sir, we can't make our bank functional because our banks are full with water, our ledger are wet, our records are wet, our currency is swimming in the water. So at least 1 week we will dry it up, all those things, and then and only then we can make the functional. So before 1 week it's not possible to make the bank functional. Now it was a very difficult situation. People were hungry, they wanted to eat. Things were there in the market, but people didn't have the money, and banks could not be made functional. In that situation, in that grave situation, difficult situation, Musa Raza took a very risky decision. And I think only the people of such caliber like Musa Raza can take this decision. What the decision he took, I'm letting you know. Are you listening to me, my friends?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So he instructed his secretary, bring plain pieces of paper in my office and invite 20, 25. I mean, all the people who are there in the collector office. I mean, whether they are peon, whether they are clerks, whether they are officers, invite all of them. And have Caesar. And with the Caesar, cut the plain papers in the shape of notes. So at that time, 4 notes were prevalent. 1 rupee note, which was very short. 2 rupee note, which was a little bit longer. 5 rupee note, which was more longer. And 10 rupee note, lengthier. And keep on cutting the papers in the shape of notes and make the pile. All the 1 rupee note type paper in one pile, similarly 2 rupee note type in another pile, 5 rupee note, another pile, 10 rupee note, another pile. And stamp. On the first pile, you stamp 1. On the second pile, you stamp 2. On the third pile, you stamp 5. And on the fourth pile, you stamp 10. And I will sign on each piece of paper. And my sign will ensure that it's not a piece of paper, rather it's a currency of 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupee, or 10 rupee. And give a message to the people. Don't create chaos. Come to the collector office with ration card. There will be a register. Each one of you will be given 10 rupees. 10 rupees, not actual, rather that fake currency which have been created at collector office. And in register, your name and address will be noted. You take this money, you go to the market. He instructed the shopkeepers that whosoever bears this artificial currency, this fake currency, you have to exchange the goods in return of that. Violating my order will invite strict punishment. But kept on saying to the shopkeepers that you keep on collecting all these currencies. He told the people that after 1 week, the banks will be functional. So honestly, you go to the bank, take the money, and all of you come honestly to the collector office and deposit 10 rupees actual. So at this juncture of time, you are getting 10 rupees fake. But when the banks will be opened, you have to give 10 rupees actual. He instructed the shopkeepers, keep on collecting all these fake currencies. And when you will get the invitation from collector office, you come to collector office and exchange the fake currency with the actual currency. My friends,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
nice story.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nice one.
Hmm. Now tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. Was Musa Raza taught about this problem that if the flood will come, then you will create artificial currency?
No, sir.
No.
No. So every problem you can't teach in the classroom, but certain kind of problem solving ability you can develop, you can sharpen. And this problem-centered curriculum design focuses on that. So it is entirely different from subject-centered design as well as learner-centered design. And its main purpose is to expose our students to more and more real life issues, to expose them towards more real life problem, so that though they might be able to solve the problems. They might be creative, they might be innovative. More and more rigid and bookish and traditional knowledge we will give them, they will not be creative. More and more we will expose them to real life issues. More and more liberty and autonomy we will give, definitely they will become creative and innovative. And sole purpose of this problem centered curriculum design is that. So I'm quite sure you people have understood what is subject centered curriculum design, what is learner centered curriculum design, and what is problem centered curriculum design. Now, coming to the another point, that's again very important, particularly if you people are involved in some curriculum making process, or you people are the member of the board of studies or academic council. So these steps will be very important and helpful for you. So I have identified 7 steps, and I would like to request any one of you to please read these steps. These tips.
Curriculum design tips.
Hmm.
Identify the needs of the learners.
Hmm.
Create a clear list of learning goals and outcomes.
Hmm.
Identify constraints.
Hmm.
Consider creating a curriculum map.
Hmm.
Identify the instructional methods.
Hmm.
Establish evaluation methods.
Hmm.
And the last one is remember that curriculum design is not a one-step process.
Right. So these are the tips. By and large, these tips are followed around the globe. So what you have to do in curriculum design, the very first thing, you identify the needs of the learner. You create a clear list of learning goals and outcomes. What the outcomes are expected. Are you people associated with IQAC? Any one of you? My friends?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there are some PSOs, program specific outcomes. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what's the aim of that? That after going through this particular syllabus, students are expected to learn this. So these are the outcomes after going through this particular syllabus. So first step, you try to understand the need of the learners. Then second step, you create a clear list of learning goals and outcomes which are expected. Identify constraints. So what are these constraints? Time constraint. So will it be possible to finish the whole thing in 180 days, or in 90 days, or in 80 days, or in 6 months, or in 1 year? Then infrastructure constraints. Do you have everything which is required to go like that? I mean, you want to teach through PowerPoint. You want to have a blended class. So do you have the connectivity as well? All of your students have those instruments. I mean, all these costs. So infrastructure constraints, time constraints, resources constraints, all those things you have to keep in your mind. Consider creating a curriculum map. So what is a curriculum map? This particular unit has 10 topics. In total, we have 40 topics. There are 90 days, and the whole curriculum is required to be finished in 90 days. So some topic will get 2 days, some topics will get 3 days. I mean, and how you are going to assess, I mean, every detail that is known as curriculum map. Identify the instructional methods. Which methods do you follow? So most of the time we teach through lecture method at higher level in whole of the country. This is our tradition. We go through the lecture method. But is there any other method also that we can use to teach? I mean, like case study, like assignment, like self-study, like peer group study. I mean, there are so many concepts, so many laboratory method of teaching. I mean, there are so many methods. So is there any possibility? Definitely, you have to identify. Then establish evaluation method, how you're going to evaluate. And last point that's very important, that it's never like that you have designed curriculum once and it will be forever. After every 3 year, every 5 year, you are required to delete something from that and you have to add something that by that way you alone will not be able to do that. Rather, it's a teamwork and it's not a one-step process. Now, the last point that I wanted to present before you people, that there are certain perspectives of curriculum design and development, and there are by and large 4 perspectives of curriculum design and development. These are technical scientific perspectives, non-technical non-scientific perspective, humanistic aesthetic perspective, and finally social reconstructionist perspective. So what is technical scientific perspective? Some points are written on the slide. You please read it. My friends.
So technical scientific perspectives
Hmm.
reflect a traditional orientation about education and formal methods of teaching.
Hmm.
Second one involves a logical step-by-step procedure.
Hmm.
Third, focus on the end product or performance of the student.
Hmm.
And fourth one, subject-centered design.
Yeah. So this is the oldest perspective, technical scientific. So what do we do? So we have a traditional orientation about education and formal methods of teaching. It's the oldest perspective. It involves a logical step-by-step procedure. That is, we have to teach first, then this, then this, then this. Focus on the end product and performance of the students. Definitely, what will be the outcome, and its design is subject-centered design. Now, I'm coming to the second one, that is non-technical, non-scientific perspective, and it is contrary to the first one. So first one was more rigid, it is more flexible, and it is less structured. So first one was very much formal, very much structured, but this one is flexible as well as less structured. It considers that curriculum evolves rather than being planned. So what you have understood through this point? My friends? My friends?
So by this, we can say that we are not planning what we are giving to the student. By taking that particular problem, what he evolves from that particular thing.
Okay, 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 okay. Do you agree with me that that 5 years back it was unthinkable that you will be at different place and I will be at different place and I will be delivering my session through virtual mode? I think it was unthinkable 5 years back, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, is it
Yes,
possible or not?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
So my friends, remember, education can't be in isolation. Rather, whatever the changes take place in the society, education changes accordingly. So, by that way, whatever the new concepts come to the society, that is reflected in the curriculum as well. And by that way, curriculum evolves. So, everything you can't predict, everything you can't plan, everything structurally and formally you can't have. Rather, some type of things evolve with the passage of time. So this approach believes that curriculum evolves rather than being planned. And it is based on the progressive philosophy. Its main concerns are needs and interests of individual learners and society. Of course. So it's give recognition to importance of music, arts, literature, health education, and humanities. And I'm quite sure you people will agree with me that these subjects are very important. Music is important, my friends.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
arts
Arts, literature, all the subjects are very important.
are very important. So even I might be a student of physics, I might be a student of zoology, I might be a student of political science, but music is important for all of us. Music have so many soothing effect on our mind. Music makes so many things for us easy. Arts always, since times immemorial, arts have been the best sources of creative potentials. So I have some creativity and I'm expressing it through art. Similarly, literature, health education, humanities, all these are very important. So this type of perspective give recognition to these subjects. And definitely it prefers learner-centered and problem-centered design. It does not prefer subject-centered design. Subject-centered design is preferred by the previous perspective, that was technical and scientific perspective. Now I'm coming to the humanistic aesthetic perspective. If you see the slide, It emphasizes on freedom, values, and abilities. Relatively, this perspective is newer. It is based on democratic principle. It focuses on all-round development. It develops self-actualization. It's neither mechanistic nor traditional and rigid. Last perspective, social reconstructionist perspective. So what is it? So 4 points have been mentioned on this slide. So any one of you, please read it.
Social reconstructionist perspective.
Hmm.
It emphasizes on addressing of social questions and a quest to create a better society and worldwide democracy.
Hmm.
Focuses on a curriculum that highlights social reform,
Hmm.
believes that systems must be changed to overcome oppression and improve human conditions,
Hmm.
recognizes that education is a means of preparing people for creating this new social order.
Right, right. Thank you, ma'am. So, social reconstructionism is a philosophy. So there was one great American philosopher, Theodore Bramett. So, after Second World War, whole of Europe was I mean, massive destruction took place in Europe, and most countries, they were completely devastated. Crores of people died. So there was a slogan that let's reconstruct the society, and let's reconstruct the society through education. So that philosophy, later on known as reconstructionism. So what this philosophy says, that education and democracy, these two things should be used to reconstruct the society. And this philosophy was propagated from America. It was developed in America, but American influence is everywhere. So very soon this philosophy reaches to other parts of the globe, and it became sooner it became a very big philosophy, that is social reconstructionist philosophy. So since it has lot of impact on various aspects of the life of the people, so it impacted the curriculum design as well. So according to this perspective, how the curriculum should be designed, they say that the curriculum should highlight the social reform. The curriculum should address various social problems, social questions, and the curriculum should try to create a better society and worldwide democracy. Through the curriculum, we should teach our students how operation can be overcome and how we can improve human condition. And finally, this particular perspective recognizes that education is the means of preparing people for creating this new social order. So thank you very much for listening to me, my friends. It is 4:55 by my watch, and I thought that I'll be finishing it at 4:50, but I took 5 minutes more. So still we have 5 minutes. So if you want to ask any question or if you want to share anything with me, please share it with me. My friends listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Prabha ma'am, Deepika ma'am, you people were very active. So or any other person, Divya ma'am. So do you have any question?
No, sir. This is very informative lecture. We have learned about the curriculum and all aspects of the curriculum, which can be able to give a holistic education to the our students.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the compliments. So any other thing? Basit sir, Sabina ma'am, you people?
Sir, it was very useful and thought-provoking session.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Basit. Okay, Basit. So,
Exactly,
so
sir. You,
yeah.
you
So,
explained very well, sir, so that everyone will understand very easily with
Okay.
very good examples, sir. You explained all the points very well, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, Prabha ma'am, you wanted to say something?
yes, so I just wanted to express my gratitude for sensitizing us with the
Thank
topic.
you.
And one more thing I liked is that you ask the participants to read it. So that way, like it doesn't become monotonous for the
See,
presenter.
right. Prabha ma'am, you were active in my presentation or not?
Yes, sir.
So you were active simply because I was active, isn't it, ma'am?
Yes,
So
yes.
if I would have come and I would have started reading the slides, and definitely it is afternoon session, you people have taken your lunch, so definitely you people would have just started sleeping. But since I was active, that's why you were active. So remember one thing, this is the one principle of online learning. It's very monotonous, definitely it's very rigid, but if you are active, then definitely your participants will be active. So if you think that there is some good aspect of my lecture, please follow it in our real life. That will be the best tribute to me. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, so what's the custom? Will Dr. Shakir come and formally end the lecture, or I should say goodbye to you people? What's the custom?
Sir, from
Shakir
your
sir
side,
will
you
not
can.
come.
Okay, okay. So I thought that you will be asking some question. If I realize that you will not ask the question, then at least I would have spoken few more minutes. But okay, no problem. It was a very interesting session in the sense that you people cooperated with me, and definitely I enjoyed your presence. So thank you very much once again. And I will give my PPTs to Mazhar Zaidi sir, and definitely he will be sharing it with you. Thank you very much once. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you.